Max.
Let's turn this on.
Turn
How's
it
life?
on. Lively full.
Lively full. You have a new beautiful camera.
Yes, and a new beautiful head.
Your head is now more beautiful.
Thank you. Let's get that straight on my head.
I'm a little bit envy. I'm a little bit envy that this camera makes you look so shiny.
Oh, you're envious.
Yes.
You can invest as well.
But then I would need to shave and like clean up. But then I have the mess behind me.
Okay.
But it's going well. I'm really looking forward that we continue our streaming efforts after unplanned summer break.
Yeah, it was too hot. I'm sorry. Sorry, everyone. It was too hot. We didn't like to stream when it's too hot.
It was too hot. And today we have a fun topic.
At least you try to convince me about that, yes?
It will be fun. Because breaking things is fun. I'm not sure what we break today, but we will break something. I'm very confident about making things go poof. And with that said, it's my turn to share something. Switching over to the screen, we want to talk today about Azure Load Testing, a brand new, shiny new preview service that you can use to stress test applications. And as you can see on the screen, a couple of them are already on this, but pretty much anything that has an UL endpoint can be attacked in a good way to surface problems.
Attacked. Interesting choice of words.
I mean, yeah. I used load testing in the past, and this was always fun because things broke and felt like being attacked. Developer hated it, and yeah, lots of things came to the daylight that were not easily being detected with low load, but yeah, like exploded if you had 100 users, 500 users, 1,000 users concurrently hammering your application.
Actually, it's fun because so load testing is based on JMeter scripts here.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember it has been 15 years since I fiddled around with JMeter, and the one time I used it at the customer, I killed his Oracle instance.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. They didn't like it that much, but it was fun. I did what I was there for.
Proof point. I broke it.
Yeah. Problem was the production instance was also running on there. So hi Tom.
Lessons learned.
Lessons learned. Not for me, but for them.
Don't put all eggs in one basket.
That's a very German saying, I would say, but yes.
Yes. Especially in the cloud. Isolate things, keep them isolated, and then you can break them independently. All right. I did a quick run about this, and I think this is like the first time that I use my work account for something like this, because I'm a little bit concerned about the cost that might come out of this if we like do load testing with lots of users. So I'd rather put this on my work environment and see what comes out of this on the billing later on, because if this is costing a lot of money, then my MSDN subscription will also get destroyed.
You mean like Azure HPC cache and all that can kill your subscription really fast?
In like minutes.
Yeah.
I think I deleted the entire load test resource group. Give this like a beautiful name. In the preparation, we already noticed that the regions that you can use the service are quite narrow. Australia, East US, East US 2, North Europe, South Central US, and West US. So 4 regions in the US, 1 Australia, and 1 in Europe. Yeah, that gets hopefully better. You have two choices of the key. You can give it a tag, provision it. Typically, we do not prepare that much for the stream, but we
don't.
Or I was concerned that I do not prepare much for the stream. Sorry, that this would take like 30 minutes to provision. Not sure what the underlying infrastructure is doing. That's why I provisioned it up front to see if this takes minutes, hours, whatever, and it only takes like a minute or even less. And then we can start doing this. So quick test create based on the JMeter script. So your kill Oracle environment script could be imported, or like diving into the script. So Frank, what do we want to load test today?
I thought you have prepared something, maybe
yes,
an application.
I have.
An application?
Yes. What do we want to put it in Kubernetes? Do we want to put it in container apps, app service? I have everything.
Then you choose, flip a coin.
I would say we try.
I would say AKS would be interesting because you could
but
see.
It's the most complex one. Let's try app service. You ask me, I pick app service. I love app services. I want to see app services going down. Load test. Let's pick a Docker container. We should go in the same region. North Europe to not have latency. Then we pick this one. This is a reasonable sized app service for production. Don't want zone redundancy. We take the quick start Nginx container that I prepared. We do not want to use a networking injection. No app insights. App insights would also be fun. I'd like to see the concurrent users on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would say so as well. So.
Let's do this. App Service is one of my most favorite services in Azure. I totally love app services. Do you have a favorite service?
Not really.
No?
No. I hate them all. No. No. I don't have a favorite service. I think every service has kind of like thing. I like AKS a lot, but yeah. So because there's a lot happening in an AKS.
They're like a hidden champion of Azure services that you say, hey, this is epic, but nobody uses it.
It's epic. So Azure networking is quite interesting because it does a lot that nobody realizes. So so it's the hidden champion because it's
the hidden champion.
Yeah.
My favorite is Azure Table Storage.
Table storage, okay.
Yeah.
Why?
It's super cheap. You pay for the database by storage, so not by compute or anything. The scale is freaking amazing. You can throw millions of records at it and it's like pennies. So that's really amazing. And for like simple applications, it's a super cheap database. taken care of, like Microsoft takes care of everything, and it's like rock solid because it's backed by Azure Storage. Nobody uses it. Yeah, folks tend to use SQL databases, MySQL, Postgres, whatever.
Actually,
fancy stuff.
I've come across a lot of customers now that use table storage.
Yeah.
Especially for queues.
Yeah, queues. Okay, that's then a different service within Azure Storage, but specifically
no.
Azure table storage.
They're using table storage for a queue-like environment.
But why they are not using the queue service?
Because they need a little bit more. Because they need to actually also update the status of the entry. So they don't want to put something in there and just consume it. They want to also want to have kind of like a very
See, table storage is like amazing. Nobody talks about it, but it's like epic. Okay.
Epic.
So it's there. We provisioned this beautiful website.
It's really beautiful, Max. I think you put a lot of work into that, and also I saw you drawing the icons today.
Hand drawn icons.
Yes.
Hand drawn by someone else. Not taking credits here. So let's look into not this one. Where is App Insights? Here. Application Insights. It's enabled, connected to this resource, and we should see live metrics. No, it's not in there.
Takes the time.
Yeah, let's see if this is in the container. That should be in. No, it's not in there. For this, it needs to have this JavaScript injection. Yeah, okay, so, but do we have performance? We should see at least something. Otherwise, sessions here. This is what I wanted to have. Zero sessions. Not so much. Let's hammer this a little bit. Manual load test. Let's go out. There's nothing in here. Too bad.
Did you put the App Insights key into it?
I don't have to.
Don't have into?
No, I think it's the server-side injection should happen automatically.
No.
So for this, like the server request, I don't need to do anything.
True.
Yep. This is just enable, and then the thing is being added to App Service, and then the requests should be detected automatically. And for what happens inside the application, you need to have the SDK, or you can also add it in JavaScript to the website. But I think for the first time, it takes a little bit until it's like visible and loaded and connected and whatnot.
Can you go back to the application?
So this is the website or what?
To the application itself, yeah.
Yep.
So application inside, if you click on there.
Yep. And it's enabled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will be turned on for application written in supported languages, so that should do it. And it's a .NET container.
It takes about 5 minutes to 10 minutes before I think it shows up in the first one.
Okay, then let's take the URL and prepare our load test. Start with a quick test. URL. Number of virtual users 5. Test durations 2 minutes. Ramp up time 0. This test will consume 0.17 virtual user hours. So that's surprising that I was concerned of. So what is a user hour? North Europe. It's $2, euros. So the whole thing costs 10 euros a month.
Yeah, it's 50 virtual user hours included.
50 virtual user hours included. Okay.
So 0.17, we're fine.
Yes. So no additional usage. But is this prorated or is this like being charged when I deploy it?
This is charged when you... I'm not sure.
Yeah, see, this is like interesting. But it's in preview. This might also change. We ignore this for now. 0.7 really doesn't matter. Let's go to 50. Test duration 2 minutes. Run test. Provisioning. Your test will start shortly. I mean, imagine these kind of services like 10 years ago. How much ramp up time, preparation, hardware, wiring, firewalls, whatnot would be required to get this going.
Yeah. That would have been different, yes.
Yep. Did you use the service that was included in Azure DevOps? There was something similar based on the Visual Studio web test.
I didn't even try. I saw it, but never tried it, to be honest.
I did, until it was then being deprecated without an announcement of a successor. I'm very happy that we have this now.
Answers look okay, right?
And the amount of requests also looks great. Like almost 2,000 requests per second. With an app service plan that costs you like, what is it, $50 a month?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the website does nothing. Potentially this is like a static HTML file that is being...
Yeah, it's a question if there's also caching in that one, you know?
I kind of doubt it. Oh, here we have a peak, spiky. So I think we can rule out caching.
True.
But also the response time is great. And here we can also add server-side metrics. That is also cool. That is cool. This is the input file, logs and results.
Will run for 2 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm. And this has been added quite recently, the engine health, to see how healthy the underlying engine is. Yeah, if like the test runner peaks and does not have enough memory or enough CPU or whatever, and would affect the test results.
Does it scale in the background?
Yes, it does.
So this should always be kind of like below a certain threshold.
Yes, but it could go higher, right? Not sure what the scenario is, but later on, potentially, if you like have parameterized tests or things that potentially need more memory to run the tests, yeah, could impact the test engine and like degrade the overall performance from the test engine, and then would, yeah, by accident impact the test results and would give you like different meaning of the and you potentially try to optimize your application, but in the end the test engine was not scaling or had issues and was misleading you.
But at the moment you cannot really influence it, right?
No. Nope. Which is good. And there's another thing that I when I scroll through the introduction here, what we can see here is like super simple, right? We added a URL, we click the button, and the thing runs, and we are good to go. And later on, we will see results. But what you could also do is integrate this into your release pipeline. So in your CI/CD process, and say, hey, if you do a release and schedule a test run on staging, whatever, to see if the deployment has any performance impacts. And yeah, we saw with 50 users included for the month. Yeah, if you do daily releases, whatever, you can do tests for $10 a month at this scale, which would give you a good indication and also like a timeline if you have performance degradations over time or improvements, to be positive. And fairly cheap. So I would really, would love to understand what is being used under the hood for this to have such cheap compute. Might be the new ARM CPUs that we have in Azure now. Have you looked at them?
Yes.
Crazy cheap.
Was a bit kind of overdue, but yep.
Yeah. So let's see, where is the test here? This one. Can give a description. Now it's done. 2 minutes, 50 users. Response time. So we get a nice little dashboard. The total number of requests that we used, 0%, 1,000 requests, 1,800 requests per second. So pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool. So what do you think? First impression?
Pretty basic.
Yet.
Yep.
So let's look at the so we can integrate the website to get the server-side view.
Did the requests go up? Okay.
The response time, the average, and the errors and whatnot. Frank, I need a minute to grab something to drink.
Yep.
Be right back. Yes, I agree. So what do we expect? What would be what will come?
What do you mean?
Like parameterized tests
Yeah, for
and all
example.
that?
Yeah.
More regions?
Yeah.
But let's try the other tests, because we started with the simple one. Yeah, the other one would then be uploading a JMeter script.
Okay, so you would then need to understand what JMeter scripts are really made of and all that. Yeah, okay.
And like they have parameters, they have all the logic, like also like delays, whatever, switching, and like yeah, that is also like interesting user identities in the tests.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like do authenticated tests.
Ah, okay. So session cookies and that. Yeah,
Yes.
you can do that with JMeter. I remember.
Yeah.
And authentication, but it's a little bit more tricky. Yeah.
And something that I haven't seen here is doing load test of continuous regression testing with CI/CD. That is what I mentioned before, like testing services that sit on premises.
Yeah.
How would that work? Because we do not have a network integration.
Yeah, that is not possible yet. Yeah.
But it's mentioned already on the documentation. So I've seen this before. Let's go to the documentation. Parameterized load tests, server-side monitoring. Use JMeter, read data from CSV file, yeah, to make it easy. Automate GitHub by GitHub Actions, very cool. Azure pipelines, also cool.
Yeah, but then you would like do
scenarios for VNet deployment. Here we have it.
Okay.
But I couldn't do this. Okay, so testing through Expressor, this is exactly what I meant. But how do I do this? Let's do extend.
Then how to load test a private application endpoint.
So it has to be in the VNet, right? But how do I bring it in the VNet?
There's a link on the bottom of the page. Next step.
I think it's the same.
See there? It's not virtual network support for Azure Load Testing is able. Okay, can you? You should be able to choose that somehow. Can you go back to the portal?
But I think they like cheat by using an Azure Load Balancer.
No, yeah, but yes, they create it in your network, yes.
So my private endpoint becomes public.
Yeah. That's not a good way to do that. I mean, it's okay if you shut it down to just
for just accessing through Azure Load Testing, right?
Yeah, but still.
Discussing this with security folks
It'll be fun.
Yeah,
Would get this off the table instantly.
Having this injected in the virtual network would have been easier in enterprise networking.
Maybe endpoints will come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here they use an NSG to just say it should come from batch node management. Oh, is this like based on Azure Batch? Interesting.
Could also be ACI, so depends. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Something scalable in the background.
So is this a JMeter test script here?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Lovely XML. Love it. No YAML. No JSON. And here we give then the target IP and port and get.
Can you how would this work? So configure test traffic mode, private, virtual network. Okay. So we should be able to choose it in the test, right?
I couldn't.
You
couldn't
did
in the quick test.
Yeah.
So let's try the other one. JMeter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I love it. Next. This is required, right? So let's take the example that I prepared. What's the extension for this? What, JMeter?
I don't know. Actually, I can't remember. Was it JML or something?
Not JMeter would potentially work. Let's see what they have. But JMeter.txt, yeah. Thank you. Good. Here we have parameters, variables, secrets, key vault, okay.
Okay.
Here we can specify engine instances, cool. Test mode would then be private, and there we have the
network, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Test criteria.
Public or private endpoints. Yep.
JMX is the okay.
Mm-hmm. So potentially we should alter the script, otherwise this will then fail. Change this to the website. Where was it? Azure Load Testing. What is 443, right? Okay, 250s per engine, and then you need to scale.
Mm-hmm.
How big can it be? Okay. So that would kill like most traditional application if you do 45 multiplied by 250 concurrent users and then the multiple requests that it can do per second. Yeah, hammer time. Okay.
Let's say 1 to 2 million requests per second or something.
Okay, we can do test criteria and do metrics and say, hey, if the response time is bigger than this, then it's an actual fail and not some arbitrary number. And add monitoring resources to this. Yeah. Like this one. This is quite cool. Like if you have like connected applications or multi-tier applications, app service, database, storage, then you can like all bring them in.
Yeah, monitor them together, right?
And see the end-to-end impact on the applications. Potentially helps you identify bottlenecks that were not visible before.
Yep.
So my file has to be JMX. Cool. Let's do this. Rename. Where is it? Rename. I don't see it. Yeah, it has like a column called file relevancy, but what does it mean?
Yeah. Weird.
In your case test plan uses a user properties file. Okay. So if I upload multiple files, it need to know what the parameters.
Okay. So you can upload different. I remember from JMeter you have user profiles there, and then you can say, I want to have like 20% of this and 80% of this, like a mix of users you have on the page. It's also interesting because in the JMeter files you could target different areas of your application. For example, people doing checkouts or doing this and that, and then you could put a variance into what kind of users you have.
So potentially I cannot add a host name to this file. Might not work because I think it needs to have the host name. Host header, otherwise the script.
Okay. That's a very speaking error.
Yeah, but this sounds like a Java error, right?
Yeah. JMeter is written in Java. That's the J before that.
I could figure that one out. Just
What's the problem here?
I think I cannot add the host name here. Just my gut feeling here. And potentially it should be an HTTPS sampler and not HTTP. Can we do I have both on this? It redirects to HTTPS.
You can test it redirect then.
I'm not sure if it follows redirects. I mean, should it follow redirects in? HTTPS only. Off. Save. In this flag, I mean, I don't know how many customizations I've seen in enterprises to do the redirection, and here it's like a toggle to do the redirection. Nice. All right, that should work. Let's remove the S. Initially, we should test this in. Yeah, not secure. Then we can undo this. No, it's still the same. Good, we upload it again. Oh, I could only close it. And now, where is it? Yeah. Yes, by the way. It takes a little while longer than the quick test. Frank, you are so silent.
Waiting and expecting stuff.
I mean, we couldn't break app services today. This is both unfortunate, but also pretty good. But 50 concurrent, it might not be the challenge for app service.
No. If it would break by that.
I mean, it's a pretty small instance, like 2 cores.
But still.
Yes, I get your point. What did we give it? Production P1, so a DV2 series.
That's quite beefy.
Beefy.
It's a production instance. This is
Yeah,
quite beefy for an app service. It's quite beefy already.
Yeah, but just one and
Yeah.
small.
But still.
Yeah.
210 total ACU. Kind of like you could that's something like one VM.
Yes, exactly. It says DV2 series compute equivalent. So yeah, but still, like, what is it? 2 CPUs, 4 gigs of memory.
If you have a look at the ACU table, we also have in the documentation. That's kind of like it's quite okay. So
yeah.
that thing should run a couple of things already.
Should take. Does take a little while longer from quick test to this.
What does it say when you go on view all tests? That's the overview, right?
Yeah, overview.
Okay.
So that's the metrics that you can import from the service. That's also cool. This is what should be added to. Okay. And this is my test. Basically uploading the file, right? Yeah.
Takes its time, right?
I mean, I think it's now 4 minutes. Yeah. It doesn't need to like be super snappy, especially if it like provisions infrastructure underneath. But I pretty much like the quick start test, right? Because it felt like immediate results. Potentially this is like stuck because we see timeout because the JMeter script that I copied expects something totally different. Yeah, didn't see anything. Too concerning. I think there was also like a GUI application, right, for JMeter.
Yes. It's true. So actually you could run the JMeter stuff from the GUI application right away and test it locally, for example, or against the service, look if it works, and then kind of test it already, and then you could take this application then or the script and put it somewhere else then. So that's for local development of these JMeter scripts. Yeah,
that is like super important. So potentially developing will also be with this application, and then once you have it, you bring it to Azure Load Test and distribute and like let it hammer the environments. And potentially then you can like download the results. And does JMeter offer like reporting or whatever in the GUI application?
Yeah, you could write out some results and all that. Yeah.
Because we can see here there's like a comparison that gives you like, hey, what has changed? But yeah, potentially this takes a little while longer. Let's do this here. Threads per engine, okay. Let's see. I think 250 was the highest, right? Did you memorize the number? 240, 250, 260, what was it?
So for JMeter script it was 250.
Okay, let's do 250. But only let's use
put in
60.
300 and have a look what it says. If it tests for that. Could I also try 300?
Yep, so it allows the 300. Let's see if it starts it. Still nothing on the others. Yeah, it needs Azure Batch in.
Yeah, then it runs on batch in the background, okay.
Really interesting.
I haven't seen that service being used in the background for a long time, to be honest.
And it's surprising that it not uses like Kubernetes or Service Fabric or whatever.
That's what I meant,
engine underneath.
Azure Batch, so Batch can run containers as well, so could be also still be running containers on that.
Yeah.
Unterberg.
Yeah, I would really love to hear that Bundaberg uses Azure. So Bundaberg, if you have questions, please reach out. I'm more than happy to help.
Wouldn't come to us, Max.
Yeah, wouldn't come to us. And the time zone is quite challenging.
It's okay. You can talk to them when they're going off from work. And you could talk to them in the evening. So at midnight.
Yeah, or like someone setting and stuff, please. Yeah. Interesting. The other one failed.
Which ones?
With the test script. This one just worked. So let's do compare. This and that. Yeah, of course, 50 is less than 300. Okay. Response time has changed a little.
They even identify who's using it. Which users,
What?
Max.
What?
What?
Average max.
Yeah.
I mean, don't make fun of my name.
I don't make fun of your name.
It's really annoying. And to tell you a fun story, my dad has a new dog. The dog is now like with the family for like 3 years now, and they got it from what is Tierheim in English? Like animal care.
Yeah.
Like a foster dog or whatever. And guess what? Yeah, they couldn't pick the name.
And he called Max.
Max.
Yeah.
And this is like super annoying.
Max,
when I
come
have a
here.
phone call, yes, when I have a phone call with my dad and he like shouts, "Max, be quiet." Okay, he's talking to the dog. All good. Yeah. All right. I'm willing to give the other one a shot. Just get timed out, whatever.
A bit sad to see that too. Can you go to the event log, maybe?
I will.
And have a look why it didn't start? A bit sad that
Maybe
you
I
can't
have-
see it here.
Maybe I have to stay on the screen and be patient. Okay, let's.
That's
the other
not gonna
tab.
work. That's not gonna work. So we're talking about Max.
There's not much in there.
But yeah, this is
The
the
individual test is not being like in here. Potentially in logs. Load test creation count, yeah. So they log it in here. Hello. Let's go. Why does it not become active? I'm too impatient today. No data found.
Yes,
I need to.
I should unmute myself. Yeah, that's what I said just a minute
I
ago.
need to add like diagnostic logging.
Yeah. You're streaming nothing to the log analytics workspace, so
Yeah.
it's empty.
Yeah. But I don't want to do this.
There's a 1 on top. What does it say? What does it say?
This one. This is from the other tab. We need to have this one.
Okay. Did you even run it?
I did.
Did you click on that?
I did. That's why the 1 appeared here.
Are you sure?
But if I go there, it's... See? Now it's a 2. And I can make it a 3. Magic.
Load testing Azure portal.
And load testing Azure Load Test.
Now coming to you.
But here the number of requests is crazy, right? It's like... Phew, phew. Hey, we did 120,000 requests in minutes.
Expect your phone.
My poor website.
Yeah. Expect your phone to ring soon. I wonder if the fabric at one point mitigates.
You mean like, hey, we detect artificial load patterns, whatever, and like the DDoS protection kicks in?
Yeah, or if the load balancer service is out, taken out of that. So it can help. So it depends. So when you think about load testing and having your application on Azure, so you either want to have it use the mitigation options. So if you have a public IP, there's some mitigation that happens automatically if you see that this endpoint gets attacked or gets a high load. Sometimes the fabric mitigates it then in the background and tries to protect the fabric itself. But would be interesting to have an option here to turn it off and on again, right?
Yeah, or like...
Would be something that they could add to the service, actually.
And also like testing this, right? Because now it's like you turn it on, but you could never see it in action.
What?
The DDoS mitigation.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's what I meant. You if you have an option to turn to have the test consider it or the test not consider it, because I think this is more for applications to look for, are my applications robust? Do I have some hot paths that kind of get overloaded when I increase the user count? So I'm always amazed still today see some websites. So one funny story from my side while we are waiting here. So I tried. So I bought a Wacken ticket for next year's Wacken, and they had a funny site. So they tried to implement a waiting queue, but when you were in the queue, you had like 10,000 people are ahead of you, and then you waited like 5 seconds, and then there was like 27,000 people are ahead of you. And I was like, are people getting inside the queue ahead of
in
me?
front of you? Yes.
What is happening here? So I'm still amazed to see some nowadays websites that fail under load, because normally I think the patterns to have websites be robust to load.
Yeah.
Should be well known.
Yeah. There are now services that you can buy that give you this queuing mechanism.
Yeah, I know.
For events.
Yeah, I know. Even for example, Sony uses it when you
or Lego.
Or Lego.
Lego also has one.
Yeah, you can buy it, and then you put an endpoint before that, and it then redirects to your actual page and lets only certain people through that. Yeah. But it's kind of funny to see those services now, because if you would design your web application accordingly and have kind of like, so yes, hardware in the so when you think about data centers and having hardware, there's a limit to the hardware you can provision to that, right? So
that's also what I want to do. I'm a big fan of Azure static websites. Let's have fun and create one, and also do a quick test on this, how, just to see what we can get out of it.
We could load test our
blog.
Yeah.
Good idea. Let's cancel this one.
I mean, we're not load testing as with filling it with content, but
Azure. This is hard work. Man, this is hard work. Azure Tech Talk.net, I think it is, right?
Yes, it is.
If you haven't seen it, it's epic. The content-wise, we are lagging a little bit behind.
At least we are in this year.
Yes, but February. So only half
6
a year
months.
backlog.
Yeah, only exactly 6 months. So see, half a year anniversary of us forgetting to write the content.
So I think 30 seconds would also work, right? Do we want to do 5,000?
You're then getting over the 50 hours, but
I mean,
yeah, it's still not pricey. We could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what we do then. Hey.
No, let's not be cheap. Contest. Let's throw 20 instances. Let's throw some money out of the window.
Hey, it's for a good cause.
It is.
Our blog.
And the numbers go up. Yeah, we are now in the Alexa most frequented visited pages in the last hour. Let's see.
Could we age it? It's just the same IP, so.
Let's see.
The test run will start shortly. Max, be patient.
Just got a notification. I was like a little bit concerned that the website is now gone. Like, hey,
we're killing.
Yeah. Failed. This is the other one. Not sure why it runs always into timeouts.
It's funny that it always fails when you start
when I start the other one, yeah. But that could be like a coincidence. Because the other two didn't fail.
There's one from test started, successfully started. The test
Which
run
one?
15
quick
minutes.
start.
Is it a quick start? I thought the get marmage.
Okay. Yeah, let's see if it's in there. No.
No. Yeah. Please be aware. It's a preview.
Yes, and my script is like boggled together. Here we have the still provisioning.
Go on it. I want to see engine
The
health.
numbers.
Go on. Engine instance is 20.
Yeah. So let me sign up to Azure on the other side.
At least our webpage is still up.
Of course, it wants to have authenticator. So this is the Azure Tech Talk static web app.
So we see that something is starting to happen, right?
10 requests.
And that's us.
Yeah.
Too many requests. Our webpage is down.
Is it?
Yes.
Nice, we killed it. See, this is exactly why we should do Azure Load Tests.
Is the test now running?
Executing. Oops.
Go into the other metrics.
I mean, 5,000 virtual users. Yeah. We reached almost 20,000 requests per second.
The page is back.
Oh, nice.
A minute gone. Not yet, right?
Not yet. Now it's done. Now it's done. So, yeah, the page is back.
So we're using static web apps, right?
Yeah. But here the errors is like, hey, you are dead, almost dead. Okay. Better. So potentially there is like protection from if you throw almost 1 million requests at it, that it doesn't like it.
Yeah, so
14,000 requests per second. This is fun. Okay, we broke one service.
Yes.
I'm happy.
See, good idea.
I am happy.
I'm looking into what the actual limits.
I think it's not specified.
I think we got mitigated there, right?
Yeah, I think so too. I think it like detected some malicious behavior and said, not for a service that is almost free. Don't do this.
We're using the free plan, right?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Let me show this again. We use the free plan. Okay, we should not complain. We should not complain because it like also on this year it served like almost 180,000 requests.
Yeah. Weirdly, they're all today, but
even like the data that has been submitted is, yeah.
Let me look what the free plan has for quota.
I think 100 gigs. But for the entire month, and not for like 5 minutes. It's potentially our unoptimized pictures here in the top that eat the bandwidth. What is it? Yeah, but we optimized the page quite well.
Mm-hmm.
So the logo is like 40 bytes. And is it, or is it cached? Here. Yeah, 100 kilobytes for the picture here might not be needed. Then yeah. So a full load gives you 2 megabytes, 3 megabytes almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we killed it. Azure static app.
Maybe we should ping Andrew Chen and said, oops, sorry, we briefly we did something. Don't tell anyone.
So what?
He's the program manager. and he's super responsive on Twitter.
Okay.
And yeah, I tried to migrate my personal website to Azure Static Websites, and something was not like working, and I spent like 2 hours on it, and then I said, hey, something is not working, like all of my images are not being rendered. What could it be? And he, like, within minutes, did a pull request on my GitHub repository with fixing the issue. And it was like, yeah, here, I fixed it for you. So, okay. So yeah, folks are super responsive on Azure and on Twitter. All right. Frank.
Yes?
This was lots of fun.
Hmm?
I will use that again. And I will also talk to my customers to extensively use that.
Yes. Next time, Chaos Studio?
Chaos Studio, yes. Yes. So even more chaos. Even more breaking things. So potentially we should like really have like a tiny application in Kubernetes that consumes like a database and storage to like introduce faults into this and to see how things behave.
Yep, should do that.
This was fun. Again, let's not hope that the heat stays and we have to summer break cancel it. But aren't you on vacation the next 2 weeks?
No. I'm
No?
on vacation next week.
Okay, so
I'm
back
going to
again on the
Gamescom.
usual.
Somebody sees me on Gamescom. Please say hello.
Again, a little bit envious.
It's only 20 degrees here now, so it cooled down a lot today. We
I
had
mean,
to-
I'm talking about you going to Gamescom.
no. But I was still on the temperature went down a lot today. So, but yeah, envious. Yeah, let's see. So I just got a notification today that Saturday tickets are sold out now. So Saturday I won't go there. I have tickets for all of the days, but maybe I will not go on Saturday now because that thing will be packed. And yeah, after the last 3 years, maybe huge crowds are not my favorite anymore.
I can imagine. Yeah, it should like return to normal in a normal pace and not like from 0 to 150.
Actually, what is interesting, I secured a ticket for Monday, the pre-show, where it's kind of like where they do all the different announcements, and I will be in the audience.
Cool.
Let's see what gets announced. So, thanks, Max. Thanks everybody for watching.
Thanks, Frank.
And have a good evening.
Goodbye. See you next time.
In 2 weeks'
folks.
time. Bye-bye.
If nothing comes in between, see you in 2 weeks exactly. Good night.